Kumbhakarna, Rip Van Winkle, and the 9-Hour Trap. In the Ramayana, Kumbhakarna famously slept for months on end, waking only to wreak brief havoc before nodding off again. If he were enrolled in a modern cohort study, the statisticians would likely flag him. Across decades of epidemiology, people who routinely sleep long, typically 8-9 hours a night, show a higher risk of dying earlier than those who sleep a little too short. With one landmark meta-analysis, estimating a 30% higher all-cause mortality for long sleepers versus 12% for short sleepers. That's the origin of the oft-repeated claim that oversleeping may be worse than undersleeping. But as ever in science, the story is more nuanced than a demon's nap schedule. Since that 2010 synthesis, multiple large reviews and cohorts, including UK biobank analyses, have reaffirmed the U-shaped curve. Risks rise at both tails, yet the long sleep tail often looks steeper, with links to cardiovascular disease, stroke, diabetes, and higher mortality. But here's the catch Kumbhakarna never faced: causality. Long sleep may not be the villain so much as a symptom of chronic inflammation, depression, low physical activity, fragmented or poor quality sleep, or undiagnosed illness. Reviews have long argued that long sleep could be a marker of risk, not merely a cause. Recent Mendelian randomization work, which uses genetics to probe causality, suggests short sleep looks more clearly causal for several cardiovascular diseases, whereas evidence that genetically driven long sleep directly causes disease is weaker. Another twist: regularity may matter as much as raw hours. Fresh data show that night-to-night variability and irregular sleep timing predict cardiovascular events and mortality, even when average duration looks fine. So Rip Van Winkle's epic, irregular slumber wouldn't score well on a modern sleep health report card either. Across faiths and folklore, we meet other prodigious sleepers: the 7 sleepers of Ephesus in Christian and Islamic traditions, or Vishnu's Yoganidra, the cosmic sleep between creations. Myth treats very long sleep as restorative or miraculous. Modern epidemiology treats it as a red flag to investigate what else is going on. So is 9 hours more harmful than 6 hours? If you only look at headline hazard ratios, many pooled analyses say yes, long sleep often carries the bigger relative risk. But 2 big caveats soften that punchline. 1, long sleep is frequently secondary to disease, medications, depression, or socioeconomic factors. And 2, both ends of the spectrum are consistently worse than the middle. The safest take-home remains boringly practical. Aim for approximate lifespan 8 hours, at consistent times with good daylight, activity, and mental health care. And if you suddenly find yourself needing 9-10 hours or more most nights, talk to a clinician rather than assume